Hello and thank you for tuning in. My name is Heather Forgan. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Scotland. My website is stampwithnellie.com. And today I have another fancy fold card for you with lots of blings. I'll probably blind you with that. So a couple of days ago I showed you a video using the Forever Greenery designer series paper and Forever Gold laser cut speciality paper to make some very large gift bags. And earlier last week I showed you a fun fold card where it didn't have a full front. So really today's card is a combination of both of those projects. So looks kind of standard on the front until you realise that that's the front. There's a bit missing, and when you open up you've got plenty of space to write on there on the inside, and you've got an extra little bit of detail on there as well. So I'm going to show you how to make that. I've done most of the preparation in advance. All of the dimensions and the products that I'm using for today's card will be listed in my blog post, and a link to that blog post will be given in the description bar below. So I'm starting off with Whisper White thick card as my base, and this piece measures 18.5 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres, and I've already gone ahead and scored at 14.5 centimetres. So when I fold that over, that gives me my standard 10.5 by 14.5 centimetre card base. I've also got another piece of thick Whisper White card that measures 4 centimetres by 10.5 centimetres, and that will sit along the bottom there. I've got two pieces of designer series paper from the same paper pack as my original version, but just a different design, and I'm going to layer that up there. So bear with me a moment while I just go ahead and do that. Alright, so now we've got our designer series paper on the top section there and also on the bottom piece here. So we've done those two bits there. I've also got a piece of the same designer series paper to add to the inside. Now this piece measures 10 by 14 centimetres. So there's just a small edge of the card base showing all the way round. Okay. I have used the stitched rectangular dies. I've used two different ones. This one I have cut 3 pieces of Whisper White card. One of them I've used thick Whisper White just so that we've got a little bit more strength to the card, and I'm going to use the thick piece along the front there. Okay, so I essentially want to make sure that I have got that bottom edge of this piece lined up with that bottom edge, and we've got those two pieces lined up as well. I could use a little clip or something like that, but we'll just go with it. Make sure that they don't move. And I want to make sure that I've got that roughly the same distance top and bottom and in from each side and straight if at all possible. So I really just want to put a little bit of glue along that edge and that edge there. Okay, so just going to make it easier for myself. To make sure I've got it straight. Roughly the same distance. Like that. Oops. The wet glue is best for this, so you've got a little bit of wiggle room, but it does take a moment or two just to dry and go off. So just hold it in place. Once you've got it exactly where you want it, just hold it in place for a moment or two to make sure that it's not going to move when you don't want it to. Then open it and use one of the other pieces of your Whisper White. And I've just realised I'm missing a piece. Perhaps I forgot to do that, but anywho, add glue to all of that, and you want to just sandwich that. So it doesn't really matter if you've not got exactly the same length. Those bits, just make sure that you've got the edges together like that. Okay, so we've pretty much got our card base. I also want to make sure that we add the piece that we can write on. In exactly the right place. Now it should be roughly in the middle, but before I actually press it down, I just want to make sure I can't see that there. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that now. I can press that down. Okay. It looks more complicated than it really is. I have already gone ahead and stamped the hello from Forever Fern, and this I stamped with Pretty Peacock and Pear Pizzazz. The little dots come in the same stamp set as well. So a little bit of glue on this. Just to add in the centre of that. And don't worry if, like me, you've got fingerprints over that. You can buff that up later on. Now, what I did find was that when I added wet glue onto the back of this, you could kind of see it. So I'm going to go for some Stampin' Seal Plus on this, and hopefully we'll get around that problem. Okay. It does mean I've got one shot to get it straight. So happy with that. And there we have it. We have 2 cards. Now the bit that I have forgotten to do was to cut an extra piece of that designer series paper to put on there. It is just an extra detail and it isn't really necessary, but I will do that before I take my photographs. I hope you've enjoyed these cards. As I say, they look quite complicated, but they are really pretty simple. I'd love it if you had a go and let me know how you get on. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I really would appreciate it if you do so. click on that bell to make sure that you get some notifications the next time I publish a video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Take care until the next time. Bye bye.